Temple of Justice, replying to allegations by his main client in the petition, allegations that were not on court record.
If they continue to block us from presenting evidence, we shall have no option but to withdraw from their court.
If anyone thinks he can intimidate, he can blackmail, he can induce with favors that Chief Justice of Uganda, then he's heading for a crash.
And after some good days of verbal ping-pong, Kyagulanyi said today he had instructed his lawyers to pull out as he heads the public opinion court. Edward Mhumza, NTV.
Thank you, Edward Mhumza. And now to bring this conversation to context, we are joined by the spokesperson of the National Unity Platform, MP-elect for Nakar West, Joel Ssenyonyi. Good evening, Joel.
Good evening, Andrew. How are you?
It's an honor to see you on such a day when you've pulled out from the courts of law. Why are you not calling Article 29 of the Constitution? And why are you not asking Ugandans to come on the street and challenge whatever petition and to demonstrate this yet? Bobby Wine,
Do you want us to?
who happens to be your boss, says that it's now the public opinion code.
Do you want us to?
The law allows you. Article 29 of the Constitution allows you. Why are you not invoking that?
I'm glad you're saying that. Anyhow, along the way, we are going to let the public know
Okay.
how we are going to proceed on this matter. But from the very onset, we were saying there's been challenges with this court. We went to the court because we are civilized, you know. Tibuhaburwa and team picked up guns and went to the bush and killed people. That's how they took power. That was uncivilized. By the way, he filed a petition and then he abandoned it and went to the bush. For us, we are saying, no, we were a bit civilized. We are trying to go the legal way. So we went to court. But our going to court, Andrew, we were expectant of the fact that there will be challenges.
Okay.
But the justices of the Supreme Court have exceeded our expectations.
Okay.
They have done themselves. How, you ask? There's been a plethora of things. Number one, from the very start, when we were trying to file our petition, we went on a Saturday, and the Chief Justice said, no, you can't file on Saturday. But then, when the NRM lawyers, Mr. Tibuhabura's lawyers, were filing their response, they did so on Saturday. And he said, wait a minute, why the double standards? We said, anyhow, all right, we'll keep moving. We filed for an amendment. They rejected the amendment, and we said, wait a minute, previous petitions you did allow. In 2016, Mbabazi did file an amendment, and it was allowed. Ours was rejected. We said, wait a minute, why the double standards? We did say, okay, so we have new affidavit evidence that we would like to file. Please do allow it. They refused, and we said, wait a minute. In our elder Dr. Besigye's petitions, even when hearing was ongoing, they still filed affidavit evidence. Our hearing has not even begun, and they rejected all of this. And we said, wait a minute, why are you biased against Kyagulanyi?
2006, FDC petitioned the same code, and they said Besigye made it allocated that he would never go back to courts of law. And you, as the new entrance, as a party that is the youngest in the country, coming with all this wave and going into the dynamics, which was the obvious, by the way. Whatever you're saying today is the obvious, what Besigye said in 2006. Did you think in one way or the other that this is going to be a new dynamic? What new dynamic have you brought to the political scene after withdrawing?
Like I was saying, Andrew, we went to court, not so much because we have trust in individuals. Human beings have their own weaknesses, but we have trust in the law. We have trust in justice. But along the way, the people that are meant to deliver justice can let you down. And like I was saying, we expected that there will be some challenges because these are human beings. But like I said, they have exceeded our expectations. That's why we are saying it does not make sense to go on with this, because they have showed their bias from the very word go. Every step of the way. They have showed that they would walk away from precedent, you know, of the other petitions because they have a bias against Kyagulanyi. So it doesn't make sense to continue.
Joel, bias or no bias, when you look at this as NUP, did you have some hurdles in the preparation of your petition before it went to courts of law? Because if the preparation was really, you know, on the deck, every hand was on the deck, maybe you wouldn't have these kind of, you know, strings being pulled back and forth.
So in
does this reflect to you to organize yourself again? In
the precedents that I've said, Mbabazi did ask for this amendment, and he had reasons. He said, look, our offices were broken into and there were challenges and so on. And the court applied Article 126(2)(e), which says substantive justice shall be administered without undue regard to technicalities.
Yes.
Meaning, sometimes you ignore the technicalities for the sake of justice. We were saying the same thing. Our petitioner was held under house arrest for 11 of the 15 days within which he had to file. Our officers in Kamocha, which had a plethora of evidence, because as you know, the election is not an event. It didn't happen
It's
on
a
14th.
process, indeed.
It's a process, as many decisions have done so. And we were saying, please, can you leave our officers? Police and the military held siege there. Do you know when they left? They left on Sunday 15th, which is the deadline that had been given for this affidavit evidence to be produced, 5 p.m. That was the deadline given by the Chief Justice. They left in the night of Sunday because they knew now we can access our officers. Whatever we get will not be useful. So we told court all these things. We had challenges. Please allow this affidavit evidence.
They didn't allow it.
They refused. Which
Fast
is why
forward.
we're saying there's been a bias against Jaguar.
Fast forward. What is going on? Do you regret having rebranded as NUP than People Power? Now we see you in suits, in kaftans, in the red berets are normal, the red overalls are normal. Does this in one way or the other affect the party's rebranding? Did it in one way or the other pull down the steam and the flames that used to keep it up in the air?
So you've asked a couple of things, but
I'm sure you
I'll
know the
take that
technicality
to
of answering
one.
them.
So you said the metamorphosis from
People
Power
Power
to
to,
NUP.
yes.
It was relevant, and we made case for this. We explained severally. We were about to sound like broken records why we needed to do this, because on the ballot papers, you know, we've got to have symbols. And we said, look, if Chagulanyi is going to have a jerry can for a symbol, Ssenyonyi has a basin for a symbol, it's going to confuse people.
That
And
is
so we
how it
thought,
is.
let's have uniformity. And we are glad that it worked. There's still a lot of work to do. I don't want to sit here and imagine we have arrived, because we have 61 MPs, you know, several councillors, mayors, and so on. There's a lot of work to do, because ultimately, the ultimate that we are aspiring for is change of leadership from the very top. You know, it's not sufficient. People are telling us now you should be excited, rejoice. You have a couple of MPs, and I have somebody who was telling me, you see, now you guys, you're going to produce a leader of opposition. I said, we didn't set out to become leaders of opposition. We set out to
You
become
wanted a
leaders
regime
of government.
change.
So until that happens, the battle does not stop.
So what next? Are you going to evoke Article 29 of the Constitution, Public Opinion Code?
I'm glad you know about that provision.
am
But there's
glad
also
I said.
Article number 3 of the Constitution. So, look, power belongs to the people of Uganda, and so the buck stops with them. The office bearers, whether it be the Chief Justice, you know, right from the President, by the way, they hold those offices in the stead of Ugandans,
True.
on behalf of Ugandans.
yes.
So, ideally, they're meant to operate at our bequest. No, they don't do that. They do things as they so please.
So what
we're
next?
taking it back to the people, because, so yes, legally, it is